So based on the success of yesterday's video of you, my dad here, Joe Perillo, who's on YouTube, Joe Perillo, I think that's your username, joe.perillo.com, I guess I'll redirect to your YouTube channel.
Today.
It was successful. Everyone seemed to like you. They want to see you on a regular basis. They're encouraging you to do more YouTube videos.
Yeah, I got some emails.
Of course, some people said that I let myself go to hell. They didn't realize it was you and that we are biologically related. You can no longer claim that I was hatched and you found me under a bridge. Thanks for that childhood scarring. You have a very extensive political background. And, I mean, I grew up around it. Mm-hmm. And I thought it would be an interesting topic of discussion to talk about maybe what's been going on lately in the political realm, specifically with the internet. Do you see the internet as the future of citizenship and involvement in political processes, or are politicians still disconnected from the conversations that are happening online?
I think the ones that have learned to use the internet use it well. I think our current president, that's one of the main reasons he got in office was the internet. He made a great use of it in the last election. Someone asked earlier what my favorite quote was, and I guess it's, don't ask what you can do, what your country could do for you, but rather what you can do for your country. And as my son said, I've been involved in politics for a long time. I was on our Altoona City Council, a city of about 12,000 people. I was on the council for 22 years. I was in the Marine Corps for 6 years. That's not really political. That's taking orders. But
you don't have any party affiliation, really. You kind of you're
more an independent. I'm a Republican.
Yeah.
I'm neither a Democrat nor a Republican. I've worked with both parties, but.
Now, do you use the internet in getting any kind of information, or do you still rely on traditional media?
I like to watch CNN and Fox both. I'll watch Fox for a while, and then I'll tune it over to CNN, and then I'll make my own decisions. One's liberal, one's conservative.
But do you really think I'm gonna call you on this? Do you really think that Fox News is news?
Do I think so?
Yeah.
I think they do a pretty good job. Seriously, not all of them, but a lot of them do.
In what way?
They seem to present both sides, just like CNN does. I guess they're no more biased than CNN. That's why I watch both. One's more biased to the left and one more biased to the right.
But you don't get any information or a lot of information online or from the internet?
No, enough. I just want to get in there and do some research on a particular subject. Not really. I pretty well depend on newscast and newspaper.
So what is the internet going to play a bigger role, or is it still going to stay in the realm of like big media in terms of getting information out about one candidate or another?
I think the internet's taken over free media. I see it's all live. It's all now. What's happened in the Near East, things happen, and you're reading about it in Twitter and Facebook as it goes on, and you'll see a lot of the videos coming across, and so a government can't hide anymore.
But they are.
Someone said
they're trying to shut it off.
Fox is owned by the government. They suck. Which, the government or Fox?
Well, in many ways, political contributions go back into the media. I mean, they pay for spots, right? No matter the station, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and I did vote for Branstad for governor of state of Iowa.
So
I'm reading those this week.
You know, for people who are out there, I mean, we've got a younger audience and an older audience. You know, if they want to be involved in the political process, a lot of them kind of take a stance that someone else is going to take care of it. What would you encourage them to do, specifically with the tools at their disposal?
I think the big thing is to get involved, because you people out here have abilities that a lot of people my age don't, and the ones slightly behind me, they don't have a lot of expertise in the internet, so they rely on all the young people to get in there and do what needs to be done in order to get to the constituents they're trying to reach.
You ran for political office recently.
Yeah.
You set up a website, you had Twitter, Facebook, but did that really help you any? Or?
Well, I didn't use it as much as I thought I was going to be able to. We ran a small campaign, a little bit underfunded, but we did what we could do. we got a lot of yard signs from Twitter, and people would ask questions, and I would answer their questions on either Facebook or actually on Twitter also. But I'm just kind of getting my feet wet with both of those still.
Right.
I've been messing with them or playing around with them for a year, and I do a little more and a little more each time I look at it.
Any other questions from the Nomies? I don't know if you're seeing anything there. Nothing?
Someone mentioned Sky News. I thought Sky News was something by the airlines, but
No, I think it's in the UK. I think it's the Fox News version in the UK.
make a statement about this. Not politics. It goes too fast by the time I
really?
read. Yeah, for me.
Oh. Okay, so here's
keeping a level head in politics, I'm not always sure that's a good idea. I'm not sure who this gentleman is here.
Microagent?
Yeah. But I don't think any of them really keep a level head. They're so busy trying to figure out what you want and trying to tell you what you want and make you believe that's what you want that they really don't do what's good for everybody.
Okay.
And, I think that's what's lost.
So, Dad, I've got a question from Matt in the Nomies chat room. First, thank you for having the initiative to run for public office. Secondly, do you see technology and politics becoming increasingly intertwined as the world continues to adopt a global internet?
Yes, I do. And again, you saw it more in a historical aspect in like Syria and some of the what they call it, the Arab Fire or whatever. And Arab Spring, yeah, where a lot of the countries are starting to rebel against their governments, and I think it'll make people freer in the long run, and the governments need to adapt to it and to learn how to use it in a good way.
Well, that's the greater challenge is that I don't really see borders. If I'm talking to people online, I don't think right up front, well, which country are they coming from?
Right, and you would have no idea where they're from. Like something went by and you said it was Great Britain. I had no idea.
So would you see something like potentially a lot of geopolitical boundaries disappearing?
I think there's a lot of people who'd like to see that happen. I would like to see our country stay our country.
Sure, I don't think any country would necessarily disagree with that unless they were oppressed.
Right.
But as we start to see ourselves as a global society, a global economy, isn't that inevitable?
Well, we're heading in that direction. We're heading towards more global. The globe's getting smaller,
right? And
it's through the technologies that we have. Technology makes our world go round, and the bad thing is a lot of times people will read something on a computer and then they automatically assume it's 100% correct, and that's not always a good position to take. Again, that's one of the reasons I try to get both sides, and then I make my own decision based on what I heard from both sides. Is one prejudice to one side or the other? Probably. But I still make my decision based on as much information as I can get.
Okay, here's another question. This is from JM Cloutier1 in the Nomies chat room. What do you think needs to change in government other than technology?
I think governments...
Keep in mind, again, these guys are from all around the world.
Okay,
too,
no, I understand. I think... I come from the business world also. I'm an accountant, CPA. I do think the governments need to run more like a business or more like you run your own household. If you have X dollars, that's what you spend. You don't spend Y dollars. You spend X dollars because that's what you have. Governments tend to spend more than they have and more than they can get. So then that revenue, in order to make up that difference, has to come from somewhere, and it comes from us, one way or the other. So
Wicked apparently disagrees with you. I don't know if you hear him barking in the background.
He must be one of those.
He's very upset at what you're saying right now.
So SOPA, I just got someone asked what I thought of SOPA. I think the piracy has to stop, and how they're going to get that done, I don't know, because the internet's so big and so expanded that it's tough for people to get a control on that. I guess you find the ones that are breaking the law and you shut them down, but don't don't punish everybody for the few.
That's very well stated. There's another question actually came in from Ollie43. If I scroll up, this I don't know where Ollie is from, but he suggests or asks, do you think the internet should have a global law, not have country-based laws? So kind of it's, you know.
Yeah, the problem with the global law, then you need a global police.
Right.
And, you know.
One world order.
Right.
Right.
And I'm not sure anybody currently wants that. Now, maybe sometime in the future, I don't know how out in the future, will become global. I always thought as a young kid, I'm kind of I like Star Trek and Star Wars and those kinds of movies. I always felt sometime that someone from beyond our galaxy would attack us, and that would unite the world.
Didn't Reagan say that?
Maybe he did.
He said, you know, he can't. I think it was what was it? Like he can't imagine. He imagines that if we woke up one day and you know the Earth was under attack by an alien force, how united we would actually be. Yeah. There's certainly a grain of truth to that.
Yeah, it's just like some of the big things that happen in various countries. Our country, you can look at Pearl Harbor, 9/11, particularly 9/11, because most of the folks here probably remember that, the Americans especially. But that brought our country together, even though it was for a brief time.
Do you think we'll find? You mentioned Star Trek here. Do you think we'll find ourselves in that type of utopian society eventually?
Yeah, I do. I think eventually there will be time travel.
Well, and not just time travel. I mean, it's
I believe all that stuff.
It's kind of been now shown to be a possibility, but I mean more of instead of having to deal in credits and generating revenue, the whole idea of being a human being is exploring, because this is what we're here for. What else are we here for? So in terms of economies and societies, do you see ourselves going that way? Not in our lifetime necessarily.
Yeah, no, I think eventually it will head that way. We'll head beyond Earth, if that's what you're asking.
Well, yeah,
I think we're going to go beyond Earth.
Instead of being mired in the politics that we have now, just a different type of exopolitics, I guess would be the term.
Well, I think you're going to, as long as you have two people alive, you're going to have disagreement.
Hang on. You are not an alien! You are not any... I've already explained this to you, dog. He honestly...
2012.
He won't let up.
The movie 2012. I don't remember that one. 2001, I remember. No, I'm not an alien, I don't think.
No, I can't imagine you would be.
I remember Tribbles. And in Star Trek, they had the Tribbles, the little...
Your head looks like a Tribble.
Yeah, it does.